What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of This, That, or Something Else. My name is Adam Martin, and tonight we look at everything alcohol. So thanks very much for joining us, and let's get started straight into this one. So I guess we're going to tell you a little bit, what's actually in alcohol and what makes alcohol up. So when we're looking at kind of calories and macros, I've said this before, but let's go over it nice and quick. My co-host is leaving me. He's had enough. Let's go over it nice and quick and let's talk about don't you dare. Sit. I know you're an alcoholic down deep, but all right. But let's just sit there and talk a little bit about, come on buddy, off. Good boy. Let's just talk a little bit about kind of macros again. So when we're looking at carbohydrates, we've got 4 calories per gram of, 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate. When we're looking at protein, it's the same, it's 4 calories per gram. And we're looking at fats, it's 9 calories per gram. Now, when it comes to alcohol, it's a whole other section opposed to the main 3 macros that we've got. And so when we're looking at alcohol, there's actually 7 calories per gram of alcohol. Now, that may mean nothing to you because what's an actual gram of alcohol? So I thought I'd actually do a demonstration for you and actually have a look at exactly what that is. So what I've done here is I've poured a standard drink basically for us of the, I guess, most common one that we come across. I haven't done beer because I don't drink beer and I didn't want to go and get a beer glass just to kind of do this, but I'll tell you the mils anyway so you can know. So when we're looking at kind of our wines, now I've got champagne here. This is ready to open in just 2 weeks' time when our little one is hopefully going to be born. I love a good champagne when it's celebrating a great, occasion. So that's 150 mils in there, and that's your standard glass of champagne. That goes for white wine as well, guys. So I'm not a white wine drinker. Amy isn't really either, so we don't really have any white wine on hand. When you're looking at red wine, again, 150 mils. That's your standard pour there. Now, again, these are what an actual standard drink is. If I got poured that in a restaurant, I'd be asking, where's my top up? Because that looks like a very small serving. And that one there, guys, is your shot. So if you're going to have, a whiskey on ice, or if you're going to have a vodka tonic or something like that, that's what a standard amount of vodka should look like. Again, you're probably looking at double that what they're normally pouring in these days. But let's look at the standard amounts. And then now let's have a look at how much alcohol is actually in those per gram, okay? So when we're looking at white wine and champagne, you're looking around about 15 grams of alcohol in both of those. There's a little less in champagne, but let's just play averages or averages, which is kind of culminating in around about 120 calories in that glass of white wine or champagne. Now, that's going to obviously take in consideration there are some carbohydrates and things like that, but we're looking at 15 grams of alcohol in white wine and champagne, giving you about 120 calories. Red wine, slightly more. There's 15.5 grams of alcohol in a red wine glass, giving you 125 calories. Now, when we're looking at hard liquor, and it's just the liquor, so it could be a vodka shot that you're having, it could be a whiskey on ice, no mixers added to it. That's 45 mils in there, and that's a standard. And you're looking at, what do we got there? 14 grams of alcohol just in that very small little shot, because obviously a very much more concentrated alcohol in that. And you're looking at, as I said, 97 calories in that. Now, that shoots up very quickly if you start to add mixers. So I wanted to kind of put a point on, because I think a lot of people, and I know when I said this to Amy, she actually nodded and agreed with me as well, in that vodka tonic and vodka soda are 2 completely different things. Do not get them mixed up as being the same. Now, vodka soda, no calories whatsoever. Little bit of kind of sodium in that soda water and obviously the carbonation to it, but there's no calories whatsoever. But when we're looking at vodka kind of cranberry or vodka tonic, we're actually going to start having some calories associated with it when it's a mixer. Now, shoots up very quickly. When we're looking at a lemonade, a cranberry, a raspberry, an orange juice, or something being added to that vodka, you're looking at shooting up to about 225 calories just for the standard shot, and then the rest of it obviously being with the mixer. Now, in tonic, my camera lady's about to sneeze. If you're going to sneeze, do it now. Let's go.
No,
it's not there?
Yeah.
So you've got to be really careful that if you're asking for a gin and tonic, there's going to be a hell of a lot of calories in that gin and tonic when you're comparing it to just a vodka soda or a vodka kind of, when you're mixing it with mixers, that's going to be a hell of a lot more. So keep that in mind when you're having your mixers, that a tonic and soda are completely different. Now, when we're looking at beer, a standard beer these days is 350 ml. Okay, so that's more than your pot, and that's just a standard beer. Now, when you're looking at that, you've got 14 grams of alcohol in there, but there are normally a few carbohydrates attached to that as well because of the beer itself. They add the barley and the hops and things like that, and you've got flavours. And you're looking at 150 calories for that. So a little bit higher than all of your wines and red wines and these kind of mixes and things like that. So be aware that beer does have a little bit more to it. Now, when we're looking at light beer, because there's less alcohol, there's 103 calories per standard drink in the 350 ml there. Now, I wanted to go into a little bit about low carbohydrate beers as well, because they get a lot of, flavour these days, because I don't know why, but marketers think that we want to try and reduce our calories when drinking a beer. Now, I've spoken to most of my mates, and I think most of them could care less how many calories are in a beer when they're at the football. But let's have a look at them anyway. So I went and had a look at the Pure Blonde, which I guess is probably one of the most, favourable ones out there at the moment. And look, there is actually less calories in it, but it's 107 calories. Now, that's 50 calories less. Okay, it's 50 calories, but it's not going to kind of make a huge difference at the end. Now, they have now brought out a Pure Blonde Naked, which is actually a low-calorie beer, not a low-carb beer. And that one's actually 89 calories. So another reduction of about 10 calories in that kind of beer itself. So, yes, they make a difference, but in the whole scheme of things, I don't think it's a massive difference on that. Now, that kind of explains, alcohol, standard drinks, and kind of what kind of calorie content are in those. Now, I wanted to put it into kind of context for you so you can understand on a standard night when you might be out having a few drinks with friends of just how many calories you might be consuming just in liquid. Now, because your body doesn't actually recognize alcohol as a food, you actually don't get full on alcohol. Now, I'm sure many of you can understand this when you're out just having drinks with friends and things like that. You can down many drinks. Sure, you might be having some food attached to it if you're at a dinner. But let's just say you're at a nightclub, perfect example. You could go through 10, 15 drinks if you're a kind of hard-hitting nightclub pumping kind of guy or gal out there having a heap of beers, and you just never kind of feel full. You can keep drinking. Obviously, you go to the toilet a lot because it's a lot of liquid. But that's how a lot of us can kind of really get unstuck when we're looking at alcohol and kind of really trying to control the amount of calories we have. So I've done a few examples, as I said. So let's just say you're out to friends and you take over the bottle of wine, you've a few around the table and you're having a dinner. Now, I said that you might have kind of 3 to 5 glasses of red wine. Amy kind of disagreed with me heavily and said, no, it'd be more around the kind of 1 to 3 glasses of red wine. I don't know what dinner parties she used to go to, but let's just say, again, that's your standard kind of glass. I know that if I'm going to friends' houses, we're going to be pouring more than that. But again, let's just go by standards. That glass, as I said, has 125 calories in it. Let's just say, average night, you have 3 glasses. So in those 3 glasses, you're going to be looking at around about the 400 calorie mark just on your drinks. Forget the fact that your host has put on a beautiful beef bourguignon and some roast veggies, and then they're going to serve up a nice platter of cheeses maybe after you finish, which is going to add thousands of calories there. But let's forget all about that, and just in the liquid you're looking at 400 calories. So when you say to me, oh, but I only have a glass of wine a night, or I have a couple on the weekend, and you're sitting there, I say, I eat healthy all the time, and all I'm having is a glass of wine here or a glass of wine there, and they advocate all the time that, have a glass of red wine per night because it's good for your heart health. If you're looking at calories in, calories out, I'm telling you now, get rid of the liquid calories. It does you no good whatsoever. Now, let's kind of go back to when I was 18 years of age, having a hard-hitting night. Root, come on, off, buddy. Good boy. And we're having a big hard-hitting night out on the Terps when I was in my young kind of 18, 19, 20s and travelling around the world and kind of having a great time. I could easily consume 15 drinks on that night, possibly more. But let's just go for 15 drinks for an average kind of young adult these days. That night, just on beer, is going to be 2,200 calories. And when I've talked about this before, what the average male should be consuming just in calories per day of around about 1,800 to 2,000 calories, that one night, you're going to blow your daily calorie content just on alcohol Not to mention, you're going to be sideways and you're going to be looking for probably some food later on that night. McDonald's, maybe the famous stalactites, and you get yourself a Suva, or any of those. Your calorie content for that day, I could very easily say, could be 4,000 or 5,000 calories. And if you're trying to get yourself into a calorie deficit and start losing weight, you're going to destroy that every single week you go out on those. So that's a big night out. Let's just say as mixers as well. Mixers, as I said before, guys, if you're just having the shots and you have 8 shots or so, they could be vodka tequila slammers, cock-sucking cowboys, maybe jam donuts, all those kind of things, just the nice little shots we have. Each shot, as I said, what were we saying before, has 100 calories in it. So 5-6 shots, there's 500-600 calories there. But let's just say we're now having a vodka raspberry or a vodka orange or one of those kind of mixer type drinks. And as I said before, you're having 200 calories per drink on those. Even 5 of them, there's 1,000 calories. 10 of them, there's 2,000 calories. So you can see how it adds up very quickly, and how liquid calories. Now, whether it comes in alcohol, and I'm not demonizing alcohol whatsoever, because I think it's a great socializing, a great way to socialize, have a drink with friends. As I said, I'm not a big drinker these days, but certainly over my time, I've had many drinks and had many great nights with friends and family and loved ones. So I don't want you to say that you can't have alcohol, and that's not what I'm trying to get across in this. But if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit, understand what's in your drink. So when you do go to have a dinner party, or you are out having drinks with friends on a Saturday night, that you understand exactly what's in your drinks and how it might be ruining your kind of... I want you to understand just exactly how many calories you're consuming just by your drinks. And so don't then turn around on the Monday and go, but I eat healthy all the time, Adam, and I've only had a couple of drinks over the weekend. You can see how very quickly it adds up. So I'll put it over to you guys now. If you've got any questions, any queries that have come through. Anything there, Ams?
We've got Patrick saying hello and ask if you can say hello to Hannah.
Hello, Hannah. How are you this evening? Thanks, Patrick, for joining us as well.
We've got Joan Giselle saying hi.
Hello there, Joan, all the way from WA.
And that's it for the comment.
Yep. And everyone else who has joined us. And if you can hit the like button on that, guys, and share the video out for me, I'd love much love there for us. I really appreciate you joining us on this night. I hope you've enjoyed the show, and I do really appreciate you taking time out of your night away from your regular viewing that's on TV to actually sit here and let little old me kind of explain, I guess, a little bit more on the world of health and nutrition. I really have enjoyed bringing this series to you guys, and I hope you've been enjoying seeing the content that I bring in from it, and I hope this one particularly was a great one for you this evening. If you've got any queries that you'd like me to kind of look at in the future for a future episode, hit up the comments or give me an email at adam@TrewExPhys.com. I'll put that in the comments later on if you do want to just direct email me. But again, guys, that's been another episode of This, That, or Something Else. I'll join you next week at 8 p.m. And I've got now a little segue out of this, and I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. But I'm thinking of kind of ending this always, because I've always got my little intro, and obviously every show these days always has their outro. And I want you to kind of let me know what you think of my outro. So again, thank you very much, guys. I hope you've had a lovely evening. And remember, your body is still counting those calories, even if you're not. See you next time.